Find out what happened while you were at work. Kevin Kollins. Afternoons from 3 to 6 on 1340 WJOL.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe. It's hard to look right.
511. It's the Kevin Kollins Show. Turk Furniture Studio Lines, 815-254-7300. And joining us on that line now is State Senator Pat McGuire. Thanks so much, Senator, for coming on with us. Appreciate it.
Good afternoon, Kevin. How are you?
I am really great, thank you. Some great news coming out of Springfield. Tell us a little bit about what the governor has announced in sort of tied into his budget. Can you fill us in on what it's going to help Joliet, hopefully?
The fiscal year 2015 budget, which the governor proposed today, includes $1.6 million to repurpose the Illinois Youth Center on McDonough Street into a mental health center for adult offenders.
Now, does this all stem around? There's going to be, I assume, some voting on what goes through on the budget and what happens, what gets pulled out. Do you think the odds of this getting put through are pretty good, this specific piece?
We're going to work hard, me and Larry Walsh Jr. and the other Will County legislators. We're going to work very hard to make sure that what the governor's proposed does wind up in the final budget. We won't approve the final budget until May 31st, the last day of session. But again, we're going to work hard to make sure this is in the budget. And we're really encouraged that the governor listened. I mean, we told him that our area needs jobs. We told him that this facility is in good shape and needs to be used, and he listened.
And is this something that literally came by surprise to you, that actually it was included in there in this plan that he has for it?
It's something we've been advocating ever since IYC-Joliet was closed almost a year ago. There are a number of closed state facilities, of course, from which the governor could have chosen to site this new facility. Again, it's good news that he chose IYC-Joliet on McDonough Street.
How many jobs would that potentially create if that facility does get reopened?
300 jobs, which I understand to be full-time, and then perhaps 100 contract jobs. Those might be mental health professionals whom the state would contract with to provide services to these inmates. Again, these are inmates who have severe mental illnesses, and due to a consent decree called RASHO, the state needs to remove these adult offenders with severe mental illnesses from the general population and put them in a facility where they can get specialized care.
And if this is included, and if it does pass and get voted on the 31st, approximately how long would it take for IYC to be reopened as a new facility and new employees to be working there? How long would that be down the road?
18 months. Some construction work would need to be done at the facility, which is good news because that's an opportunity for local contractors and local union labor to perform that work. Also, this is another bit of good news, Kevin, is that those AFSCME members who were employed at IYC when it was operated by the Department of Juvenile Justice, they have first dibs on jobs at the repurposed facility. They'll have to go through some training because they're going to be dealing with adult offenders, not teenage offenders, but they're going to have first dibs on the jobs.
Wow. So any of those employees that were there before, that were union members, they will be able to go back there and with retraining, if they choose, get a position back here in Joliet. That is some great news. I know this is something that was, that you worked hard on. You were out there in the forefront trying not to get IYC closed down. We fought, and unfortunately the governor didn't listen on that. But with the push continuing now, it looks like it is going to possibly go forward. In the budget address this morning, let's talk about the tax and the state income tax. It's scheduled to roll back to 3.75. However, the governor has said we need to keep this and make it permanent at 5%. What do you think about the income tax? Should it stay at 5%?
The governor put forth a lot of ideas. I noticed that he mentioned $500 in property tax relief for every homeowner in the state of Illinois. He mentioned that more often than he mentioned keeping the income tax at its present rate. I also noticed that he talked about severe cuts, and I sit on a Senate Appropriations Committee, and we've heard some really dire predictions from prison officials, from university presidents, and others about what would happen if the income tax phases down completely. So between now and May 31st, I know we're going to have that discussion in our chamber in the Senate. The options. The options are to continue the income tax hike at its full present rate, continue it at a reduced rate, or let it phase down completely.
Have you, what is the feeling down there as far as the Democratic Party? Is this something that they tend to lean towards the governor with, or is this going to be, pretty much even a battle within the party? Is this kind of a nonpartisan thing where everybody has where they stand on this, and it's going to be really getting a lot of votes together to get through what needs to get done?
Well, I think all of us, and I mean this sincerely, Democrats, Republicans, House members, Senate members, executive branch, legislative branch, we want to make sure that the people of Illinois get the services that they deserve, right? In this case, public safety. So that's why I think that the governor's move to repurpose IYC-Joliet into this mental health treatment center for adult offenders, that's a good move. And as we consider what we're going to do with taxes, that's what we're looking at. If we allow the income tax hike to phase down, what's that mean for funding of public schools? What's that mean for nursing home residents? What's that mean for veterans who are receiving PTSD treatment at state facilities? We've got to look at all that.
State Senator Pat McGuire, always appreciate the opportunity to talk to you. Some great news. Keep us updated on how that moves forward, and let's keep our fingers crossed that IYC reopens here in the next couple of years. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Kevin. Bye.